Hey, it's Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, I have the founder and CEO of Rap Snacks. Man, you've seen it in your favorite stores, even in Walmart. You've seen him talk with Master P, but get to know the man and how he, after this, 25-year plus journey, has made it into the biggest store in the world. James Lindsay, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, my brother. How are you? Great
I'm good.
Great to have me. I'm looking forward to talking to you this morning.
Well, I'm so honored that you would come on. I know someone who knows have great things about you, and I just want you to kind of give that journey to help inspire those, because everybody now seems to have a business right online.
Right.
And people probably think, oh, Master P had this thing, but he mentions you all the time. The celebrity status that he has sometimes will blind people to see that you started this business in 1994. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, I had a vision in 1994, to encompass the snack food marketplace with something that was out of the ordinary, something that was out the box, something people can have fun with, and something the people can relate to in the culture. And that's started Rap Snacks in 1994. Speak about P, I met P about 6 years later through a lady, her name was Jackie Reinhardt at Universal. At that time, P had a label at Universal, and I actually put him on my bags. And that's how we met and kind of developed a great friendship. I brought him on as a partner for Rap Snacks, and it's been history from there.
Now, with doing that, it sounds like, that's just like everything lined perfectly. But when you started this and, I saw that you had an initial investment of about $40,000 from friends and family. And that was before at least our community would even hear about a VC or an angel investor. How do you even get started with people investing in you? Did you have to bring them all your numbers, everything, your projections? Did you have any past performance to allow friends and family to give you that money?
I think all above, number one, you have to have a vision and idea, first and foremost, that you believe in and your investors believe in too. Because nothing worse than having an investor that want to put their money up but don't believe in your vision, right? And I had to have I gave him a plan, a vision, on paper of, it was actually a 10-year vision of where the company was going to go. At the time, it was really out the box, so that there was no data about, starting a urban snack food company. So it was all vision, but I put numbers down what I thought, just doing my research in the marketplace, it was a $540 billion industry on a yearly average. And as Afro-Americans, we represent less than 1% of that business. So the upside was, was truly tremendous. And, if, you didn't know a lot about the industry, you knew that was the case.
Okay. And you had to be convincing, because I think it's difficult for people even, now to have people invest $4,000 because everyone has some type of online business or side gig that they're doing. When you approach your friends and family, because I'm sure you get approached every day with a new business, was there any collateral that you put up?
No, not at all. Because, see, this is the issue that we have as Afro-Americans. A lot of times we don't have any collateral. Banks are not going to lend you any money because we don't have collateral. So, it was basically, like I said before, it was about, people knowing my passion, knowing that I was capable of taking something, from nothing, to a very big vision. And that's a good way to kind of talk about what we're doing right now with the Stock Boss Up program. Me and myself and Wise Intelligent, who runs my foundation, the Boss Up, we created a Stock Boss Up app to really help enhance, people like me and you, really that at any age that you have, that you don't understand about investing, right? So we take you from, not knowing anything about the stock market to basically being able to become an expert in information. It's free information. So that's the issue that we're having in our community, is that the information is lacking about investing. We all in this day and time with the internet, we want everything to happen right then. But, there's a short-term plan and there's a long-term plan. And usually the long-term plan works out better than the short-term.
That's awesome. Teaching people how in the stock market, to do that. If you would, for the people that say, wait, stock Bossa, can you spell that for me?
STOCKBOSSUP, stock Bossa.
Okay, there you guys got it. So you can Google that interview. Now talk about teaching. Do you teach what you have done distribution? Because we hear rappers talk about, I know distribution, and everybody's talking about sometimes an illicit distribution, but many folks also are working, and you have mastered distribution, working with the best of the best or the biggest of the biggest. Also teach that.
Yeah, distribution is the main part of creating any brand or product, because without distribution, no one will be able to see your product, number one. Okay, so it took me years to be able to build a distribution network up and down the street, mom and pop stores, distributors around the country, and what I've done, I've taken that as a foundation of the Rap Snacks brand, because, it's like putting out a mixtape. If you're going to, back in the day, they would put out a mixtape on the streets, and they would have it there, and it would impact everything. So when I do my small bags, which would be, the 50-cent bags, those bags are able to get trial on any item that we come out with. We build it from there. Now we're national with 7-Elevens. We're national with Walmart. Now we're building a higher distribution platform. And our basic and foundation is the mom and pop up and down the street stores that we impact every day.
And is that something, everyone has an online course that you have now or maybe in the future who can, learn at the beginning level and then master level?
Yeah, that's coming. Something with me and Master P and we're doing, and we're putting together a distribution platform that's going to teach the individual about how to create a product, how to, search for different levels of distribution, because you have mom and pop up and down the street, you have direct to consumer, you have big box stores. It's different levels that Meek Mill already says. And
I know, there's everybody is an expert, and I know there's people who talk about distribution and so I think you'd probably be the first black male that I see who has proven it, because a lot of folks, out there are talking, but when you can prove that I can get you into CVS or I can show you how, because there's no guarantee. And I'm excited to hear about that, just because as a consultant and as a publicist, we have like African clients who when they have their African products, that is their, like, how do we get it in? And it's, hold on, we'll walk you through that. But,
And, it's complex to me, for years of why everybody else has distribution other than Afro-American based product or culturally based products, right? So before I started Rap Snacks, I worked for a company called Johnson Products with his Mr. Johnson, who owned Ultra Sheen hair grease, Precise, all these different companies. And he really taught me, the levels of distribution, because if you go to any drugstore, any supermarket, you're going to see either 2 feet or to 8 or 12 feet ethnic hair care in every market you go to. But if you talk about food and any other items, there's not. So that relates back to first Afro-American millionaire was made from hair care. And so you have first Afro-American millionaire, and you have a level of distribution. That gives you your answer right there.
So that's key, and that excites me with the Rap Snacks, and I'm just giving scenarios that almost anybody can do, because I've thought about doing it for my even own children, of taking the Rap Snacks, buying wholesale, and putting it on Amazon, and I see people doing that. Is that something that you would encourage or even taking it maybe overseas, Caribbean or Africa. Africa, I'm always in Africa. That's like, I'm here, but I'm always in Africa. That's where the soul is. And so is that something that you encourage that Rap Snacks is set up to allow, a mom and pop solopreneur do?
Well, that's a great question as well. When we started catching fire about 5 years ago, I wanted to keep the direct-to-consumer base for entrepreneurs like yourself and other people that you're mentioning to be able to buy and sell on Amazon. Some people would have like, okay, I'm going to concentrate on doing that, cut everybody else out. But I really felt like, that's good. That's really good for the brand. And then also, subliminally, it's teaching people how to distribute, because the key of it is learning to start your business. But the second key is having success, which creates confidence for you to do other things similar to what you've done. So, and I look at like a Jordan, when they put out a new Jordan, they don't, people buy Jordans to sell it what? On Amazon, right? And to buy and sell it and make money. So I've never, and I always encourage that for Rap Snacks.
Okay, so that's definitely something that can be done, and I hope that folks are listening.
You'll have a bag of chips at $1.49, and they'll sell it for $5 on the internet. It's being done right now. I mean, I'll never knock nobody's hustle, bro.
Yeah, there was a rumor put out to me, and they said, hey, if you do buy wholesale, you can only sell it at a certain price, or the company frowns upon, making it more than $1. I think that's what was said. Is that true, or is?
No. I mean, if it's you'll have people that they'll have a price. If it's $1.49 or whatever, they'll take the price off and sell it for more, right? But I mean, we have bags that don't have a price on it. If you don't have a price on it, you can sell it for what you want to sell for. If they're going to buy it, then it's a part of the the effort of self-selling.
Okay, no, that's good to know. I always kind of think with in the music industry, how people are talking about music bundles and what it's doing for folks' sales. I'm like, why didn't they bundle up Rap Snacks?
Music bundles are, my background is in music as well. So music bundles are basically another way to, say you sold them, X amount of records. It's not really about merchandise.
Yeah. I just, if you're going to bundle a shirt, put some chips on it. Everybody has to eat, that's just where my mind goes. Well, but with that, in 94 and until now, there's big changes in your life. Are you a married man?
No, I'm not.
Okay. So have you always just been, single, just kind of dedicated to this?
No, I mean, I've been married before. I have, kids that, I'm very proud of and love very dearly. It's been a balancing act for myself, and it continues to be a balancing act because, your family is your foundation of being an entrepreneur. Knowing that you have a base that you can always turn back to, because it's not easy, being out here making it happen on your own.
And how do you cut it off? Have on your time to say, okay, it's family time, or I'm gonna celebrate just the day or this person's birthday. How do you shut that off?
I think the foundation is your family first and foremost, right? But also it's an understanding that your family has with you, knowing that you're the breadwinner. This is what you do. Your time is really a lot of times not yours, and you have to have a selfless, base of family members that understand that. So, but when you cut it off, you really, you have a clock ticking in your head all the time about, balancing your family with business. So if your foundation is your family, then, that's never going to suffer. But they also have to understand that there's times when you really, have to put the metal to the pedal and be able to work overtime. I work 12, 13, 14 hours a day sometimes, but that's expected with me. I mean, because they know that makes me happy, and someone truly loves you and are supporting you, that they shouldn't have no issue with that.
And with family, especially family, they see see you on TV and they see the success and folks are talking about you everywhere. For the entrepreneurs who are gaining that success, and now people are being, can I borrow some money? Where you struggle back in the day and nobody from anybody. How do you cut that off? Do you have to change your phone numbers, have your publicist, your agent and all that? How do you deal with that?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I deal with that. I think it's, on an individual basis, because everybody has different motives when they come to you, right? And what I usually look at is when someone asks me for something, I'm looking at what are they doing for themselves first and foremost. If I'm helping contribute to their success in what they're doing, I have no problem doing anything for anybody. But when someone wants me to do something for them and they're not doing anything for themselves, that's where I have an issue. So I kind of draw a different line between that. And I'm very good. I have a very good spirit about understanding people and what they want out of me. I think that's a really good attribute to have if you are trying to be your own boss and you climb up the ladder, to understand, when you have relationships, what you want out of the relationship and what they want out of the relationship. So I kind of treat it all the same, but not the same, but differently on different occasions.
Okay, so there's no set format of, if you do this, I'll do that, or if you don't have this, I can't deal with you.
I mean, 'cause one of the things I always wanted to do, even if I felt like I was going to be successful, is not to forget that person that was in my same shoes that really had the hunger, and the appetite for success. So as a successful entrepreneur, you got to keep that connection, because that only drives them, it drives you too, but also it helps you give back to those people that that really need help. Because it's not all about what we do; it's about how you help other people, to reach success. Because if you're building a mountain of all these followers, it's all it's going to do is make you stronger as well.
Okay, and what about hiring family and friends? How do you deal with that?
Again, on an individual basis, because if you take your kids or you take family friends, you really know what they're good at. I have a friend of mine who we've been friends since 7th grade, and he runs my transportation business. But I always knew that he was good. He was good with directions, right? So he fits well with doing that for me. And Rap Snacks is a family atmosphere. First and foremost, I want to know who you are as a person before I hire you, right? And when you have family members, that. But there's some family members that are lazy, they don't have they have a negative, spirit, and they might not be capable of fitting into your culture. So that one definitely would be good for them.
Okay. And having Rap Snacks and then doing the noodles, are working with pea, syrup, and all the other food products as well?
Answer it again. Say it again. I'm sorry.
With the Rap Snacks and doing the noodles, are you also behind the Uncle P's syrup and pancakes?
Absolutely. Anything that P's doing from a food perspective, we're partners on. We want to be their next Goya Foods. We want to represent the culture and a lot of different food categories, but also do some of the things that we were talking about earlier in this interview is help other people behind us, because if you think about this, when you go to these supermarkets, and that's where we started, we talked about this, so that's why everybody's talking about the Aunt Jemimas, the Uncle Ben's. It doesn't represent our brand in a very positive and uplifting way. We're real live, me and myself, P, we're, successful business people, that service community, and that we're looking to start a trend that is going to help us grow as people. When we start doing, and creating our own products and manufacturing our own products and distributing our own products, it's going to make everything else healthier coming behind us. So to answer your question, it was a long answer, but yes, I'm behind that.
Okay. And how can we, to make sure this is successful, how can we, what's the proper procedure to recommend something at our local store? Talking to the general manager, is there some, buzzwords we need to send an email so it's documented properly that they've had this many requests? What can we do to help push the movement?
It's, sending emails to, some of these stores, that's and this kind of, formatting, effort, a collective effort, to, make these guys change. There's a lot of accounts that we're not in that we should be in. And it's all about politics. It's all about, the other companies, they're buying the space and not letting people, come into these spaces. Is really, I call it the snack wars. That's what I call it. Because, there's a lot of things behind the scenes that's going on that people don't really know. Why Rap Snacks is not in Family Dollar. I mean, we're going into Family Dollar. Why are we not in Dollar Tree, right? I mean, and 75% of their market is Afro-Americans. So why aren't we in those stores, right? So politics that go behind that, that really, we're fighting every day, to kind of change.
And with the politics, I want to get into how do you even get meetings with these people? Because it's politics, and I always tell people conferences make the difference when you don't know somebody, because you never know who you'll meet at a big conference, whether it be food, music, whatever. What is your advice to, help get in and beat down some of those politics so you can get in the door? And what are some things that you have learned and that you do?
Politics start with you. It really starts with you, right? Because when you get into, these conferences, most of the times people, they have their products, they have their concepts ready to go. So you got to start your concept, and be out the box and try to add something to what's going on rather than fit in, right? Because that makes a difference. You can go to conferences all day long and look at these other things that people got going on. But how do you bring something to the table outside of what they have going on is the key.
And what would be like for Rap Snacks? What did you use to say we're different?
Well, first and foremost, we're the first snack food company to put Afro-American on their package, number one. And the main reason, other than adding artists to my bags, is to change the culture of seeing us on something, that would change our attitude about, I can be on the bag and people will buy it, right? You're changing the culture of, why are we buying everybody else's product that represents their culture, but we're not buying anything that represents our culture. That's the difference. That's what we want to do, to create. That's why we're different. Our flavor profiles are very different. Even when me changing the noodle industry, I'm not doing Oriental flavors. I'm doing flavors that we like. I got a lobster bisque flavor that was coming out, right?
Yeah.
A shrimp scampi, flavor is coming out, and noodles. This is not Oriental flavor profiles. This is flavor profiles that we every day at home, right? So that's changing the whole narrative of the noodle game,
And with that, when will I know someone has asked you this somewhere down the line? When will you have the first African artist on a snack or noodle or whatnot?
Well, that's a good question because, I've been looking at that market pretty heavy. We're working, we're definitely will have someone on that pretty soon. I know like 5 artists that I'm looking at right now. I can't really say it to you, but it's coming. I was really one of the first people to make a connection with one of the African artists, with Meek years ago, where, nobody's really on Afrobeat and all that kind of stuff. So, trust me, I love that concept. I love the culture of Africa, man, and rap snacks and coming to Africa pretty simple.
And you know what's going to be so just cold about that is because, the continent is so put their flag on a bag. It won't almost matter who the artist is. Folks will, start grabbing because they represent that flag. And if you've ever been to an African country, you see, they put their flag everywhere. I mean, no matter what condition the country's in or what they're going through at the time. So, yeah, I wait for that. Do you have any plans to do a Rap Snacks documentary?
We have a Boss Up documentary, but yes, we do have plans to doing that. Yes, I mean it's definitely will be coming up soon. But if you go to the internet, you look up the Boss Up documentary. It's really talking about our plans and the plights that we're experiencing and up and down the street. Like where we talked about in Jackson, Mississippi. We surveyed like 2,000 stores, and less than 1% of those stores were owned by Afro Americans, right? But if you go into a corner store, you might have 100 products there, and maybe 1 or 2 products are Afro American products or owned by Afro Americans. So it tells you about what we're actually doing right now, what me and P and Wise Intelligence is doing right now. We're making change at the mom and pop level, the distribution levels, and you'll see that as we go on, and then as that's completed, then you'll see the documentary because we still have a lot of work to do.
Okay, and you're still young man like us all.
Right.
There may be a part 1, 2, and 3. This question, we always talk about Black business, and I love a team like LeBron, and everybody looks like you as much as you can, but then into the conversation, we know companies that the owner may be Black, and BET even went through this at one point, from my opinion, but everyone behind the scenes necessarily, wasn't Black. And sometimes you'll see a chicken joint and it will have great success, but they'll have a franchise. And those they can't find any Black workers. I've talked to Black workers, like I can't find Black people who will work for these wages under these conditions. Have you had that issue, or has that been a focus at all?
Yeah. I mean, the workforce is tough. We have Afro Americans work for us. We have Caucasians work for us. We have Hispanic people work for us. But not only in the Afro American community, it's a tough period because we're in a society today that people want things right away, and they don't want to come in and work hard and invest in your dream. They want their own dream. But again, when I started working for Mr. Johnson, I was working for his dream. I had to pay my dues. So that's the difference in employment right now. It's not just a Black issue. This is it's an issue of people not wanting to put the work in.
Okay, and that's why a lot of times you'll see Hispanics running the Black joint or construction just because I just wanted someone else to say it, because sometimes I say, is it me? I'm trying to hook my people up and they say, I don't know about that. I'm too good to be true. A job's good to be true, but if you've been told 100 times no, I get it, because I've been told 100 times no when looking for a gig.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just one of those things where if you find that core of people that want to put the work in with you, those are the people that are going to reap the rewards when it's time to do that. So, and everything is not for everybody. So I've learned that the hard way. I've hired people that I shouldn't hire, because I wanted more for them than they wanted for themselves. So I've learned from that, just be a little more patient, because being patient is the key to, hiring good people, because, you want to fill a position, but you can fill a position with people that you really don't know. It's P calling right now.
Yeah, that's beautiful. With the success that you have in mastering the distribution, when will it come? Oh, when will it come to a point where you'll say, look, we're willing to buy out other products that we didn't necessarily create, but we see their only, barrier is distribution. And how can people go through that process with you?
That's a great question, because I think, me and Pete were talking about, creating platforms like that where we can keep tabs on, products that are, that we feel like eventually will be part of what we're doing. And that's where I'm creating I created the distribution program for, and the network is to be able to, to bring products behind Rap Snacks and other products we have, and give them that shot at it, because it took me like 20 something years, man, to be able to build these distributors on city by city, and half of them didn't believe in it until, the product would start moving and, and creating, these big waves out there, so there's, something to be said about that. And definitely we're looking at that. That's something that we want to do, ASAP.
Is that something that if someone's listening to this now that they can, send their pitch in, or should they wait, till after COVID, and where should they send it?
Pitch right now that we have going on. We're going to continue that. But if you go to P's, his Instagram, we're doing like a pitch now for, different brands and ideas.
Okay, awesome. I'm definitely going to be telling some personal people and clients of ours about that, because they definitely need that in the African space. There's so many good products, and I love Amazon, but Amazon's for everybody, and that's why I sometimes job, because they're like, I don't want to deal with Amazon. I don't know how to deal with the FBA and all that. So it's
not an easy place to do business, because you got to do the work before you're able to get to sell on Amazon. There's steps, levels to it again that you got to go through, and it's not easy. So you got to get somebody that understands that that process to help you, because and then you can be on Amazon all day and selling products, but you got to create the demand for people to come by.
Yeah, and you're talking about a team, having teams, because you can't be great at everything. How important and how soon did you find out that you needed a team to make the dream come true?
Well, I think if I had a team earlier in my career, I would have been a lot more farther in what I'm doing. When you are an entrepreneur and your funds are limited, you basically do what as much as you can do, with what you have, but having a team now and being able to, be able to kind of think clearly, because, my concepts, I'm the concept guy, and I do all the seasonings for my products. I mean, it allows me to think clear and be able to do some of the things that's going to bring the Rap Snacks in the future a lot faster. All the ideas I've had, I came out with a brand called Wifey, which is a rosé wine. It's doing really well. Coming out with a coffee brand. It's called I Like It Black Coffee. We got a lot of different items that we're coming.
With all those items, we know the relationship with P and Meek Mill. Have there been other relationships that you've just been quiet about? And if you've been quiet about them, you have your reasons, but have you put out things that people would never even know for whatever reason? And you're like, yep, I got, I got wine over here, but I didn't want to tell you that I was connected with that.
Yeah, there's been some things. I own another brand called Mr. G. It's a brand in Philadelphia. It's very popular. I've owned that brand for like 20 some years, and I don't think people kind of relate that brand to me, because, nothing else on it. I bought it from a company, Martin Potato Rolls, years ago, and that's when they'd be like, I didn't know you owned that, type of thing. But I've worked on a lot of like 24K headphones, that me and Meek created. It's been a lot of things that kind of underground about. I'm working with a pretty huge guy right now on developing some stuff for him. I can't mention it because he doesn't like taking pictures or anything like that. But yeah.
Sound like Al Heyman.
Al Heyman? Oh yeah.
Can't even know. Nobody knows where Al lives.
So, sometimes that's great, especially if you think about the industry and think about how it was controlled by, other people in the industry. He didn't want that, him being black, to be, a hindrance to him doing business. So, we all have to do things for a reason. So.
Yeah. He's definitely not by that industry a liked man. When you're making black men money and you're not robbing from them, you're not liked.
Absolutely.
With all your success, and you've talked about what you're doing in stocks, are there any other community give backs that you're doing or that you want to do in the future?
Yeah, so we have with the Boss Up program, we have another program that we're doing at the black colleges, and it's going to be a cafe that we're putting together, which will be an interactive cafe in black colleges, and it's a business cafe, almost like a think tank that we're doing, in those black colleges, kind of creating a business atmosphere, for them. We're doing it at Delaware State, we're doing it at Cheney University, and it's called the Innovative Cafe, and it's going to be really, really, it's going to set off, I got a different pattern in some of these schools because, it's a course that they actually get credit for and learning how to run a cafe, right? And they'll also get credit for any products they help create, within that time, in the cafe, so it's basically a think tank that, you can create products from and then really, get the expertise from us to be able to know how to create it from concept to actual product.
About like the black business Facebook, when how Facebook started on the campuses and then it expands, because that sounds almost like, on an app and be a game, but a real life game. If you want to just put the real money, kind of like people doing Forex, you play for fun and then you go into, the real deal and make your money. So that sounds great. When will that be available?
Yeah, that's coming up in, I guess, in January, February, when they go, really that semester where people are back on campus. Yeah, that's when that's available.
And can people request, my wife and I went to Grambling State, the Harvard of the South. Can people request that to be on their campus, and how?
Absolutely. Right. So they would get in touch with Wise Intelligent, and after we, I'll text you his information. And, he's a point person for, our foundation and that program.
Well, I'm definitely going to follow up with you about that. I see that. It's buzzing. That means money is calling, y'all. So we're not going to give you a game overload. We're going to Sir James get into making some more product, making some more profit so you can benefit. I thank you for, brother.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me, man. I wish you much success in all your endeavors. And, until next time, thanks again.
Be blessed.
Game over. Game over.